Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz where the more obscure your knowledge, the better your chances of winning. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm James, and this is Nick. We are friends from university. I live in London, and he lives in Cardiff.
And couple number two.
My name's Gail, and this is my friend Phil, and we're from the Wirral.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Lara. This is my partner Dan, and we're from County Durham.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Amber. This is my mum, Elaine. I'm from Stirling and she's from Aberdeenshire.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very warm welcome to the show. Lovely to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, here to strike down any disputer with his laptop computer. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Three returning pairs coming back from the last show. Amber and Elaine, they're on podium 4, got all the way through to the head-to-head. Going to be the team to beat today. Nick and James, they got knocked out very early.
Yes, they did.
Indeed, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got the look of people who don't want to be knocked out first twice, though.
I think so.
I think they've gone home, they've had a long, hard look in the mirror. I think they're back today meaning business.
Yeah.
That's what I suspect.
I think so.
Lovely Bill and Rose yesterday had a great jackpot round on fashion and took home the jackpot, which is lovely. 2 jackpots in a row we're giving away.
Yeah,
now, which is nice, isn't it?
They spent most of that minute they had with Rose having misunderstood a bit of the question. She got the date.
Yes, so she knew absolutely everything about fashion, but then her older brother just said, oh, you know this is after 2013, don't you? And saved the day. But she was doing a lot of the heavy lifting there.
She was. She certainly was. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, so Bill and Rose won the jackpot last time, which means today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. There it is. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now, just remember this, the pair with the highest score at the end of each round gets eliminated, so just make sure you keep your scores as low as you possibly can. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category today is geographical surnames. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns people who share their surnames with Scottish towns and cities. There we are. Richard.
More good news for podium 4. Yes, on each board we're going to show you 7 first names and descriptions of people whose surnames are shared with Scottish towns or cities. Can you name the most obscure of those, please? 7 on the first board, 7 in the second, 14 in all to have a go at home.
Thank you very much indeed. So we are looking for the missing surnames of these people. And here is our first board of 7. Kofi Blank, Secretary-General of the United Nations from 1997 to 2006. Dan Blank, International Rugby Union fly-half, who won BBC Wales Sports Personality of the Year in 2015. Hazel Blank, TV presenter, who won the Royal Television Society's Sports Presenter of the Year award in 2007. Penelope Blank, star of the TV sitcoms The Good Life and To the Manor Born. Andy Blank, former Radio 1 disc jockey and Top of the Pops presenter. Alexander Blank, Scottish sailor, who was reputedly the inspiration for Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe. And Bob Blank, manager of Liverpool FC from 1974 to 1983. There we are. I will read those one last time. Kofi Blank, Dan Blank, Hazel Blank, Penelope Blank, Andy Blank, Alexander Blank, and Bob Blank.
What a lovely family they are,
aren't
the
they?
Blanks. Yeah.
Nick, welcome back. Remind us about yourself.
So I've got an office job for a bank, and I share that with DJing on the weekends.
I know the answer to this. If you had to jack one job in and keep the other one on,
obviously the banking is my dream job.
Yes.
No. No, it's the music at the weekend.
It's the music. And what is your particular job in the bank? What's your role?
Well, helping with data gathering for PPI claims. They're still going on. People are still owed money.
There's a lot of data there. Now, Nick. This is fun, isn't it?
Oh, no, this is terrible.
How many of the 7 there, how many are immediately apparent?
No, I'm having a horrible mind blank today. Sorry, James.
By the way, those dashes stand for missing letters.
Oh, let's go for the first one. Kofi Annan.
Annan?
Yeah.
Says Nick. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Annan. It's right. 71. Could be worse. Could be worse. You've taken probably the only one everyone knew off the board.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you are. Tactically, not a bad move.
I imagine on the last podium they probably know most
I
of them.
imagine they will know all
Yeah,
of
there was a statue of Robert the Bruce was put up in Annan in 2010 after a 130-year wait. The plinth had been there for 130 years. Might have been the same people who did my conservatory.
Ah, yeah. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Gail, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Gail.
I'm a community nurse, and although I live on the Wirral, I actually work in Shropshire, so I commute rather a long way.
How far
which
is
very
that?
Stupid. Oh, about an hour and 3/4.
Every day.
Yep.
You got a good radio station to listen to there?
CDs.
Oh, you could learn a language. You could learn a new language every year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
but not at the moment. No.
Not at the moment. OK. Well, it's a long working day and very difficult.
is, yeah.
You don't have to be tussling with verbs along with everything else. That would be a nightmare. Now then, Gail, how are you liking our...
I'm not very sporty, so that's not a great board for me, I have to say. It's a bit sport heavy. So I know the one I'm going to go for, and that's Penelope. And it's Penelope Keith.
Penelope Keith, says Gail. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Keith. It's right. 79. 79 for Penelope Keith.
Yep, North East Scotland, Keith. And the leading scorer for the Keith football team, the surname is Keith as well, Cammy Keith.
Cammy's a good first name.
It's a really good
Is that
first
short
name,
for
isn't it?
Cameron, is it maybe? I don't know.
I would have thought so.
I've got to imagine.
Probably not Camshaft.
No.
Camshaft Keith is, the guy who used to go down my local pub. You could buy anything off Camshaft Keith.
I bet you could. There we are. Lara, welcome back to Pointless. Remind us all about yourself, Lara.
So I'm Lara and I'm an archivist and records manager for a law firm.
Where's the law firm based?
Darlington in the northeast of England.
In Darlington. Very good. And what do you like doing otherwise? What are your other interests?
So I like reading books and I do a lot of work for my blog and for a charity that I'm associated with.
And is the blog about any specific thing, or is it?
Yeah, so it's about me and my journey with having irritable bowel syndrome.
Right, you are. OK, now, what would you like to go for on this board? What are the surnames of these famous people? They're all Scottish towns and cities.
I think I know the one I'm going to go for, and my cousins will kill me if this is wrong, but I'm going to go for the rugby union fly half and say Dan Biggar.
Dan Biggar. Dan Biggar, says Lara. That sounds good. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Dan Biggar. It is right. 79 is the high score, 71 is the low. You passed both of those comfortably. Down it goes to 11. Very well done indeed, Lara. Brilliant. 11.
Well played, Lara. Biggar is in South Lanarkshire. Sounds much better in a Scottish accent as well, though, Biggar,
It does.
than I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And he does a sort of elaborate little routine before he kicks, and they call it the Biggarena, like the Macarena.
Very good. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Amber. Welcome back. Head-to-head as last time. Remind us all about yourself.
I am a criminology and sociology student at the University of Stirling.
How much longer have you got to go?
2 years, so I'm halfway
2
through.
years. And then will you stay a bit further in education, or do you go straight out to the...
I would like to go into criminal profiling if I can, but it's a big field, so we'll see where it takes me. But I would like to do more academic work as well, so another degree, hopefully.
Excellent. Would you stay in Stirling for that, or do you think you'd go further afield?
I would like to go to Edinburgh, I think.
Edinburgh. There we are. So, Amber, what are you going to go for? This is you're the last person to have this board. If you want to, you can fill in all of the blanks.
As a Scot, this is massively embarrassing because I was going to go for Biggar, and that's the only one on the board that I actually knew. So I'm just going to have to take a wild guess. Bob Glasgow?
For the bottom one, Bob Glasgow. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people went with Bob Glasgow. No bad luck, Amber. I'm afraid not Bob Glasgow. That scores you 100 points.
No, not Bob Glasgow. Do you know that one?
Paisley.
Bob Paisley, yeah. Bob Paisley would have scored 47 points. Well done if you said that. Do you know the Robinson Crusoe one?
No.
Alexander Selkirk. So Selkirk. That would have scored you 9. Let's do Hazel first. She's been on the show, so absolutely lovely. One of our greatest TV presenters.
Irvine.
Hazel Irvine, 27. And I first thought, and I was wrong,
Peters.
Kershaw.
Oh, Kershaw. I was thinking Peters was a bit...
But it wasn't. Even before that, do you remember Andy Peebles?
Andy Peebles,
Andy
of course,
Peebles.
of course.
That would have scored you 7 points. Well done if you said any of those at home.
Thanks very much indeed. Richard, well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a quick look at our scores. 11 was the best score of the pass. Very well done indeed, Lara. That was a fantastic answer. Then we travelled quite a long way up, I don't mind saying, to 71. Nick and James. Nice not being the high scorers, you see. That's good. Then up to 79, where we find Gail and Phil. And then up to 100, where we find Amber and Elaine. You're not way ahead there, but a nice low score from you, Elaine, could sort things out nicely. So good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more first names and descriptions of famous people up on the board. Remember, they are all Scottish towns and cities, and here they are. Angelo Blank, US boxing manager, trainer of Muhammad Ali. James Blank, British architect, commemorated in the name of an annual prize awarded by the Royal Institute of British Architects. Lewis Blank, winner of multiple Formula One World Championships. Stephen Blank, scriptwriter and executive producer of Doctor Who and Sherlock. Harry Blank, Scottish music hall entertainer, famous for songs such as I Love a Lassie and Roman in the Gloamin'. Prue Blank, culinary expert who became a judge on the Great British Bake Off in 2017. And Justin Blank, former Tottenham Hotspur footballer who became manager of Leyton Orient in 2017. I'll read those names again. Angelo Blank, James Blank, Lewis Blank, Stephen Blank, Harry Blank, Prue Blank, and Justin Blank. There we are. Elaine, welcome back.
Hi.
Remind us all about yourself.
I am a catering manager at Aberdeen Airport.
What is the outlet? Is it a restaurant? Is it?
It's a coffee shop.
A coffee shop.
Yeah.
Very good. Specialised. Coffee shops sort of become breakfast restaurants as well.
Yeah,
slightly,
we do food as well, so
That's very good.
it's good. It's nice.
That's very good. How long have you been there?
Only since September. Before that, I was in an oil firm doing the catering there. So
Right. OK, it's a bit of a change of scene. 100 points is your score at the moment. So you're the
Yeah.
high scorers. We need a low score from you. What are you going to go for on this
I'm
board?
going to go for Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat, the scriptwriter and executive producer of Doctor Who and Sherlock. No red line is you're the high scorers. Let's see how far down the column we get with Moffat. It's right. I think this is going to be a good score. Down it goes. Well done. Down it goes to 17. Exactly what we needed from you. Well done, Elaine. Very much back in the game after that. Fantastic.
Giving yourself every chance there, Elaine. Well played. Yes, in southern Scotland, Moffat.
Thank you very much, Richard. Dan, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself.
I am Dan and I'm a control system engineer and I'm a big Speedway fan.
Just remind, for those of us who don't know what Speedway is precisely.
It's 500cc motorbikes going around this shale oval circuit with no brakes, pretty much.
That's quite fun. That's fun to watch. Have you ever done any Speedway?
I've had a go, yeah, not very good though. Crashed a lot.
Yeah. So what do? You have to skid to stop yourself.
Power slide around the corner.
That's all. It's all power sliding. And then when you've done your final lap, you just keep on going until the bike stops, I guess.
Yeah, quite dangerous.
OK, Dan, there you are. You're on 11. That means you can't lose. Doesn't matter what you score. You won't overtake the high score. That takes a bit of pressure off. But let's see if you can do as well as Lara did in the first pass.
OK, well, I was going to play safe, but seeing as though we're OK, I'll go with Justin Edinburgh, I think.
Justin Edinburgh.
Yeah, I think so.
Justin Edinburgh, no red line. You're already through. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Justin Edinburgh. 16, very well done indeed. Lovely score there. Takes your total up to 27.
Very nicely done. A blast from the past for football fans as well, but also he's proved to be a terrific manager as well at Orient.
Thank you very much, Richard. And so we come to you, Phil. Tell us all about yourself, Phil.
I live on the Wirral, originally from Sheffield in Yorkshire. I work, most of my career I've spent in financial services, in risk management, and I've recently moved into a state agency.
Very good. OK, are you feeling good about this round? Is it?
I was feeling better when Justin Edinburgh was still available, so I quite fancied that one, but I think I've got an answer. We'll just see if it's good enough.
OK, Phil, there you are. You're on 79. You need to score 37 or less. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go with the top one, the boxing manager, Angelo Dundee.
Angelo Dundee. OK, here is your red line. If you get below that, you're through to round 2. How many people said Dundee? Very well done. Oh, look at that, 32, just in there. 111 is your total. Well done.
Yeah, legendary trainer, also worked with Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar de la Hoya, all sorts of people.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And now, James, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, James.
So I'm an actor, and I am currently working in an immersive show in town. So the audience kind of arrive dressed all in the finery of the 1920s, and then the story sort of unfolds around them.
See, I think this is such an exciting thing, immersive, because now we've got immersive cinema happening as well, haven't we? But immersive theatre, there have been a couple of brilliant companies doing it. And you play, you're obviously a named character.
Yes.
And you are one scene.
Yes, yeah. So there are several
comes...
rooms in the building, and there are different scenes happening concurrently in each room. So you can come on a different night and theoretically see a completely different kind of thread of the story.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. It was always the same story, obviously.
Yes, but just told from different perspectives.
I see. So the audience, depending on where you're allotted, you just turn up in that room.
Exactly.
And you're in that room for how long does your scene go on for?
So you move around. So you could be, you could spend the whole night in the main room if you wanted to, or you could be taken off to 5 or 6 other rooms over the course of the evening. And every actor has their own through line through the show. So audiences could follow that one actor if they wanted. And
so you will then nip to another scene when you've done your bit. In that room, you move out there. And it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
Very good. OK, there you are. You're on 71. You have to score 45 or less, James. There's your board. Talk us through it.
I've taken a bit of a kick in here. Just steadily watching every answer I plan to give get eaten up. Unfortunately, unless it's Mary Lloyd, my musical knowledge is fairly non-existent. I have a dangerous guess on the British architect.
You could just say it for fun.
That would be James Aberdeen, would be my dangerous guess on that. But it might not work. Lewis Hamilton being the winner of the multiple Formula One World Championships. I've got to go for it, haven't I?
You kind of do.
I'm going to go for my dangerous guess of James Aberdeen.
James Aberdeen. James Aberdeen, you're going to say. OK, here's your red line. Can you get below that with James Aberdeen? Let's find out. Is it right? Bad luck, James. I'm sorry. That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 171.
See, it's worth a go. And we heard on podium 4 that Elaine is based near Aberdeen and Amber is based near Stirling. And you chose the wrong one, I'm afraid. No. It's James Stirling is the answer. And would have scored you 5 points. Best answer up on the board there. James Stirling, the Stirling Prize for Architecture. Lewis Hamilton, you're quite right. Look at the score on this.
Yeah,
98.
That's fine.
That is a lot. Harry Lauder. Yep, would have scored you 30. And Prue Leith would have scored you 70 points.
Thank you very much indeed. So we are at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, and I'm so sorry, James and Nick, it is you.
Again.
Again, round one. I'm so sorry. Oh, you might have gone for Stirling.
I might have. Unfortunately, I didn't.
I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to play.
No
James,
worries.
Nick, great to have you here. Thanks. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it is now time for round 2. And so we're down to 3 pairs. Very well done, all of you, for making it through that last round. Particular congratulations to Lara for being our lowest individual scorer. In fact, Dan and Lara as our lowest team. So well done, but well done, everybody. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is Shakespeare. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Shakespeare plays with 11 or more letters in the title as they could. Richard.
Yeah, any play by Shakespeare, that's all of those listed on the RSC website, please, that has 11 or more letters in its title. Where there are Roman numerals, each Roman numeral counts as 1 letter. So if you were to have Richard III, you'd have 7 in Richard, and the 3rd would count as 3. So that would be 10. So
good.
So it's a bad answer.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. There we are. Phil, are you happy to go straight in, or we can chat? We can chat if you like.
I think I've got the answer I'm going to give, Sander.
What's it going to be?
I'm going to go with Much Ado About Nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing, says Phil. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Very well done indeed. 21. 21.
19 letters there, leaving nothing to chance. We should have called Pointless Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh, we should have. That would be just brilliant.
Perfect.
Yeah. Wouldn't have been able to make the gag, though. Saying, pointless, yeah.
I love that joke, though.
I like that joke.
It's a bit of a pointless apple you just bought.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
It is. Lara, what would you like to go for?
I'd like to go for Troilus and Cressida.
Troilus and Cressida. There you are. Oh, and on it goes. On and on it goes, like a swarm of bees. Troilus and Cressida. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right. 21's our only score so far, and you wing past it. Down to 5. Very well done indeed, Troilus and Cressida.
Yeah, 18 letters long. It's about a horse called Troilus and a zebra called Cressida, if I remember rightly. Really lovely, lovely play. Really charming. I think I'm thinking of the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Troilus and Cressida.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Elaine. So any Shakespeare play with 11 or more letters in its title?
Okay. I'm going to go for The Merry Wives of Windsor.
The Merry Wives of Windsor, says Elaine. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. 21's the high score, 5 is the low. Well, you passed the high score. Oh, look, you've joined Lara and Dan on 5. Very good indeed.
Supposedly Queen Elizabeth asked for that to be written, but we don't know that for sure.
She's a fan of Falstaff. Wanted a bit more Falstaff, I think.
I wonder if our lovely Queen, if she could ask for a follow-up to something, what she would ask for. Maybe another Dan Brown. I bet, knowing the Queen, as you do, I bet she'd ask for another series of Armstrong and Miller.
I don't think she would.
Really?
I don't think she would.
I think she'd like a bit of that.
To her liking.
You not think?
I wouldn't have thought.
I think it's to everyone's liking.
Well, you're very kind.
Well, only because he's so talented.
He's good. OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 5 and 5, our lowest scores there. So, yeah, Elaine and Amber and Dan and Lara, very well done. Phil and Gail, a little bit ahead there. So, Gail, you know what you have to do. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, so, Amber, remember we're looking for the name of any Shakespearean play that has at least 11 letters in its title. What would you like to go for?
I'm torn between 2, and I'm trying to think which one's going to be the lowest. I'm going to go for The Merchant of Venice.
The Merchant of Venice, says Amber. You want to score 15 or less with this if you can. Here's your red line. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Merchant of Venice. There we go, 28 for The Merchant of Venice, taking your total up to 33.
Yeah, 19 letters there. You liked a long title, Shakespeare, didn't
I
he?
loved it, yeah. A lot of ink. A lot of ink to get through.
Wonder what that was. These
lot
days
of
you
ink.
wouldn't do it. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Surplus of ink.
He was sponsored.
Yeah, sponsored. Dan. So basically, we're looking for any Shakespeare play with 11 or more characters in its title, let's say. There you are, you're on 5. You have to score 27 or less.
This is a struggle. Apart from the most obvious answer, I don't really know, but I'll go 12th Night.
12th Night, says Dan. OK, here is your red line. If you can get below that red line with 12th Night, you are through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There you are, you're through. Look at that, 18 for 12th Night, taking your total up to 23.
Nicely done. Good to see someone flirting with the character count there as well, going in at 12. That's the one I did at O-level, so that's the one I would say I'm one of the world's leading experts in.
Yeah, Duke Orsino.
I was Duke Orsino in the play at Warden Park Comprehensive School, if anyone came to that. Would have been 87.
86.
86, perhaps?
Yeah, you must take the same year as me.
No, something like that. Were you in it?
86. No, I never was. Wasn't in it. But studied it.
Very good Malvolio.
Do you think I'd have loved Malvolio? I'd have played that. I'd have liked that. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the only one I know any of the characters in, so happy to talk about it for a long time.
Very good.
12 letters in its title. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
That didn't come up on our O-level. I wish it had.
No. Or What You Will.
Yes.
That was its subtitle.
It was. Brackets or what you will.
Literally just chucking out information there. Look at that. It's all we know. Gail. Now then, you have to score 11 or less. Gail, have you got a brilliant answer?
I've got a play that I did in school that's not a very popular one, so I'm going to go for Measure for Measure.
Measure for measure. Measure for measure. Here is your red line. Measure for measure sounds like the kind of thing that might get below that sort of a red line. Let's find out, Gail. Good luck. Measure for measure. You've done it! Look at that, down to 5. Very well done indeed. 26. 26 for measure. That's great.
That was very nicely done, wasn't it? That's well played. I'll take you through the single figure score answer. Oh, go on.
Henry VI, Part 3.
Henry VI, Part 3
Yeah.
is a pointless answer. Or, as I say these days, Henry VI, Part 3, that's Much Ado About Nothing. Well done.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
Only one other pointless answer, actually, apart from that, which is the Two Noble Kinsmen. Which has been, it wasn't in the first folio, was it? But I think it's been added since. Timon of Athens would have scored you 1, as would Comedy of Errors, Henry VI Part 2, Henry VI Part 1 as well. Henry IV Part 1 would have scored you 3, and 4 for Two Gentlemen of Verona, The Winter's Tale, and Titus Andronicus.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So we find ourselves at the end of our second round. We have to say goodbye to a pair. I can't bear it. Elaine and Amber, you were in the head-to-head last time. This time we have to say goodbye to you at the end of round 2. It's not right. It's not right, but it's been lovely having you on. Thank you both so much for coming to play and playing so well. Thanks so much, Amber and Elaine. Right, for the remaining 2 pairs, it is now time for the head-to-head. Ooh, Dan and Lara, Gail and Phil, congratulations. You're now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. Well, here we are, team against team. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot.
It's been a fun one today,
It has been a fun one.
And a bit of Shakespeare as well, which makes everybody look good. We all look clever, don't we?
Yeah.
So don't let us down now.
Oh, very good. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns birds preening.
I'm going to show you 5 pictures now of birds preening themselves. We'll also give you alternate letters of their names. Can you identify these birds?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's have a look at our 5 preening birds, and here they come. We have A, P-R-G-I-E-F-L-O. B, R-N-N-C-E-P-R-K-E. C, C-L-A-E-A-A-A-I. D, E-R-P-A-R-L-E. And E, K-N-F-S-E. There we are. There are the 5 preening birds. Dan and Lara, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first. Feel free to confer.
We're going to go for A and Peregrine Falcon.
Peregrine Falcon, say Dan and Lara. Now, Gail and Phil, do you fancy talking us through the rest of the board?
With great difficulty. There's only one other obvious one in there. I know B is, it's something parakeet, the B, but outside of that, I don't know. And C and D don't have a clue, so I think we're both thinking E. It's going to have to be E.
I think we're going to have to go with the...
which is Kingfisher.
OK, you're going to go Kingfisher. So we have Peregrine Falcon versus Kingfisher. Lara and Dan went for Peregrine Falcon for A. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. 54. 54 for the Peregrine Falcon. Gail and Phil, meanwhile, have gone for Kingfisher for E. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right. Oh, it's a high score. Very well done. Lara and Dan, after one question, you're up 1-0.
Let's fill in the rest of these, shall we? You're right, it is a parakeet, but...
Has to be ring-necked.
Ring-necked parakeet, yeah. Would have been a good score as well. Would have scored you 14 points. Well done if you said that at home, filled in those gaps. Much harder to fill in the gaps on C, I'm afraid. You either have to...
Collared.
Yes, correct.
Amanajai.
Say again?
Amanajai.
So collared is right.
Collared.
You are so close in the second one.
Amanabai. Amalalai. Amanakai.
Arakari, you are nowhere near.
All right.
So pointless answer, though, if you got that at home. Well done.
Right.
And we can work out the first word of this one.
The first one, I think, is European.
European. Makes him sound like a kind of maybe a rap star or something. It's a European roller.
Oh, it's a nice European
nice.
roller.
Good. I would have
Good.
scored you 2 points. Well done if you said that.
Wow.
You heard of that, a European roller?
Never.
Never.
Never. Not even on Bird Bingo.
No, exactly.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. So here comes your second question. Gail and Phil, you have to win this one to stay in the game. But you get to answer it first, so things are slightly stacked in your favour. Our second question is all about shapes. Richard.
5 clues now to things that contain a shape somewhere in the name.
There we are. This is fun. Let's reveal our 5 things with shapes in their names, and here they are. The 60th anniversary of a sovereign's accession to the throne, building in Virginia that serves as the headquarters of the US Department of Defense, the debut novel by Khaled Hosseini, published in 2003, the fenced arena in which Ultimate Fighting Championship events are fought, and the area of the Atlantic Ocean where a large number of ships and aircraft are said to have mysteriously disappeared. I will read those one last time. The 60th anniversary of a sovereign's accession to the throne, building in Virginia that serves as the headquarters of the US Department of Defense, the debut novel by Khaled Hosseini, published in 2003, the fenced arena in which Ultimate Fighting Championship events are fought, and the area of the Atlantic Ocean where a large number of ships and aircraft are said to have mysteriously disappeared. Gail and Phil, you go first.
Do you want to do the second or the fourth?
I think the fourth might give us a better chance.
Okay, do you want to say it? No, I don't know what it is.
I think that the fenced arena in which Ultimate Fighting Championship events are fought is an octagon.
OK, that's what you're going to go for?
Yeah.
Octagon, say Gail and Phil for the fenced arena. Now then, Laura and Dan, do you want to talk us through the rest of the board?
The fenced arena, I think, is an octagon as well.
I know that the debut novel is The Kite Runner, and the area of the Atlantic Ocean is the Bermuda Triangle. The building in Virginia, I think, is the Pentagon.
Pentagon, I think, yeah.
60th anniversary.
Don't know.
Diamond, maybe? What do you want to go
Do you want to
for?
go for the novel?
The novel.
Yeah, go for the
Can we
novel.
go for the debut novel and say Kite Runner?
The Kite Runner. So we have the octagon and we have the Kite Runner. Gail and Phil said the octagon. Let's see if that is right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said octagon. It's right. It's a good answer, Gail and Phil. Well done. Down to go to 11. That's a great answer. Good score. Meanwhile, Dan and Lara have gone for the Kite Runner for the debut novel by Khaled Hosseini. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kite Runner. It is the Kite Runner. Oh, look at that! Down it goes to 10. Wow, talk about close contest. Fantastic. Well done, both pairs, but particularly well done, Dan and Lara, because that means after only 2 questions, you're straight through to the final 2-0.
Beautifully played, everyone. Those are the best 2 answers on the board. Couldn't have done any better than that. Very well played, all of you. We'll fit in the rest of these. I think you know them all. The 60th anniversary is...
Diamond Jubilee.
Diamond Jubilee. Would have scored you 51 points. The building in Virginia...
Pentagon.
Is the Pentagon. And the Atlantic Ocean. Look at the score for this, for the Bermuda Triangle. 94 points. How about that? But Kite Runner, best answer on the board. Well done if you said that at home.
Thanks very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid it's Gail and Phil. But there's a silver lining to this. It means we get
yes.
to see you again for another show, so that's great. You'll be back next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. I fully expect you to do just as well, if not maybe better. But thanks so much. Meanwhile, Gail and Phil.
Well done, you two. That's brilliant. Well done.
But for Dan and Lara, it is now time for our pointless final. Well, congratulations, Dan and Lara. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,000. But very well done indeed. What do you want to see come up in this last round?
I'd like sport or movies and TV, maybe.
Yeah,
You
movies
probably
and film.
Shakespeare, maybe.
Yeah, Shakespeare again would be really
Yeah,
good.
a bit more of that.
A bit more
yeah.
Shakespeare. I'd
Why
love
not?
that.
OK, well, as you know, you get to choose your category from the 4 we put up on the board. Just have to hope there's something on there that you like the look of. Today's selection reads like this. We have got directors and their Oscar-nominated stars, dinosaurs, the year 1979, and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. What do we think?
If we do dinosaurs, it's anything but a T-Rex, to be honest.
It's got to be the top one, isn't it? Out of all
Yeah,
them.
let's just go for it. Let's just go
we'll
for
go
it,
for
yeah.
the top one, please.
OK, directors and their Oscar-nominated stars.
OK, what we're looking for is any actor nominated in the Oscars up to the 2019 ceremony who were nominated for acting in a film by either Woody Allen, Mike Nichols, or Martin Scorsese. So up to the 2019 ceremony, any actor who was Oscar nominated for a role in a film directed by one of those 3. Best of luck.
And is that's in the leading actor and actress, supporting actor and actress?
It is indeed.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Remember, you don't have to answer all 3 categories. Focus on whichever category you like the look of. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
So for Martin Scorsese, would The Revenant be included? So you could have Tom Hardy as supporting actor and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, they're 2 probably big ones, aren't they?
Well, Tom Hardy maybe, no?
What those Scorsese films has he done?
I'm trying to think of Oscar-nominated ones, though.
Just trying to think of films.
Woody Allen, it's stuff like...
films
is it Blue Valentine that he did? But I can't remember the lady's name with the blonde hair.
Don't know.
Let's
What ones
see,
are- I've never heard of Mike Nichols, though. Scorsese, you got Revenant.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy.
So Tom Hardy, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who else in that film? Isn't the guy out of
Martin Scorsese's had other stuff.
and what else he done? We need to come quick.
Complete mind blank.
Who's guessing?
Kate Blanchett for being in the Woody Allen film.
We're gonna go Kate
10
Blanchett.
seconds left.
Kate Blanchett, Woody Allen, Tom Hardy from Martin Scorsese. And
Yeah.
who else in that film?
Just say Leonardo DiCaprio. It's going to be a massive score.
Yeah, we struggled.
Okay.
OK, that is your time up. Let's have your 3 answers. And if you could say which category, that'd be great.
So for the Martin Scorsese films, we'll say Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy,
And Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
And then for the Woody Allen films, we'll say Kate Blanchett.
and Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Now, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
If Kate Blanchett is right, I'd probably say that's the best.
Yeah, maybe Kate Blanchett.
OK,
Could be
Kate
completely
Blanchett we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless?
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, then Tom Hardy goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, and Kate Blanchett. There we are. Very, very best of luck. Now, if you were to win that jackpot with one of these 3 answers, what would you like to spend it on? Dan?
I'd like to spend it on fixing my Mini up.
Oh, it's about time.
Yeah, it's about time.
It's about time. How long has that been sitting in the garage?
8 years.
Yeah, I think it's about time. I think it's fair to say. Lara, what about you?
Well, we recently got engaged, so I'd probably put it towards the wedding.
Wonderful and huge congratulations, by the way. Fabulous. OK, your first answer is Leonardo DiCaprio. In this case, we were looking for actors nominated for roles in films directed by Martin Scorsese. If Leonardo DiCaprio is pointless, you leave here with £1,000. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Leonardo DiCaprio. It's right. It just has to be pointless now for you to take that £1,000 jackpot. Down we go with Leonardo DiCaprio into single figures to 9. Not bad. Not bad. You knew that wasn't going to be pointless, though. You knew that wasn't going to be pointless because he was just holding a place for Tom Hardy, another actor from a Martin Scorsese film nominated for an Oscar. Let's find out how many of our 100 people said Tom Hardy for £1,000. Is it pointless? Ooh. OK, let's move swiftly on. Let's not dwell on that. Your third and final answer was Cate Blanchett, in which case we were looking for Woody Allen films for which actors had been Oscar nominated. If Cate Blanchett is pointless, you leave here with £1,000. How many people said Cate Blanchett? It's right. Well, your first answer, Leonardo DiCaprio, took us all the way down to 9. Tom Hardy was incorrect, but Cate Blanchett now takes us down, passing 9 down through the single figures to 1. That's a great answer and a fabulous low score, but unfortunately you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot, but it's been fabulous having you here. And don't forget, you both take home a pointless trophy as well, so that's marvellous.
Yeah,
Richard.
very well played. Unlucky ending. That was for Blue Jasmine, as you suggested, 1 point for that. Let's take a look at some Woody Allen answers. Someone else who's in Blue Jasmine is a pointless answer, and that's the British actress Sally Hawkins. Diane Weiss is a pointless answer. Samantha Morton and Sean Penn both nominated for Sweet and the Lowdown. You could have had Chaz Palminteri, Geraldine Page, Jennifer Tilly, Judy Davis, Meryl Hemingway, Maureen Stapleton or Mira Sorvino. Those were the pointless answers there. Now on to Mike Nichols. Cher, who was nominated for Silkwood. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton both nominated for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Catherine Ross there for The Graduate. You also could have had Anne Bancroft, Anne Margaret, Clive Owen, George Segal, Joan Cusack, Kathy Bates, Melanie Griffith, Natalie Portman, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sandy Dennis and Sigourney Weaver. So Mike Nichols has done all right for himself. Scorsese now. Tom Hardy was nominated for an Oscar for The Revenant, but it's not a Martin Scorsese film, I'm afraid. But these were pointless answers. Alan Alda for The Aviator. Jonah Hill for Wolf of Wall Street, Paul Newman for Colour of Money, Winona Ryder for Age of Innocence, also Kathy Moriarty, Diane Ladd, Ellen Burstyn, Juliette Lewis, Lorraine Barreto, Mark Wahlberg, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio and Sharon Stone. Those are the pointless answers. Well done if you said any of those at home.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard, and thanks so much, Dan and Lara. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,000. Join us then, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.